Sunday, June the 1st, Ukraine launched a drone attack against 4 Russian bases that shocked Russia and the world, and the fallout is still being processed. This operation was codenamed Spider's Web, and it was said to be 18 months in the planning. These drones were smuggled into Russian regions, were smuggled in wooden sheds, and they were simultaneously activated to attack these 4 Russian airfields, including ones as far away as the Arctic and Siberia. One of these drones hit a Russian airbase 2,500 miles away from the Russia-Ukraine border. Bloomberg's headline says, Kyiv's brazen drone strike on nuclear bombers alarms Moscow. NBC News headline says, Ukraine's massive drone attack deep inside Russia lays bare Putin's vulnerability. Here's what this article says. It kind of fleshes this out for us of what happened. It says it was a stunning, audacious attack whose widespread effects are only just becoming clear. Ukraine managed to smuggle 117 aerial drones on the backs of trucks that deposited them at the perimeter of 4 Russian air bases, one of them deep inside Siberia, some 2,500 miles from Ukraine's border. While there are differing accounts of the extent of the ensuing damage of Sunday's spiderweb operation, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said 40 Russian aircraft, 34% of Russia's strategic cruise missile carriers were hit. Ukraine's security service, the SBU, put the estimated cost of the Kremlin at $7 billion. So for many people right now, this attack kind of rivals now the legendary intelligence operation that Israel leveled against the Hezbollah fighters. Remember with those pagers last year? This is kind of the same highly orchestrated intelligence attack. Some military commentators and pro-Hamas bloggers have called this Russia's Pearl Harbor. So, of course, a reference to the Japanese attack against the United States in 1941 that caused the U.S. to enter World War II. And interestingly, this attack came on a Sunday, just like Pearl Harbor. Now, of course, there's a major difference here. The U.S. wasn't at war when Pearl Harbor happened. So that's quite a major difference. But, this attack, while very destructive, dealt at the very minimum a highly symbolic blow to Russia. This was a humiliating slap in the face to Russia. It's a wake-up call. This was shocking and shameful to them. This was a massive military embarrassment. Now, to add insult to injury to Russia, in a related story, Ukraine took out the Crimean Bridge. This was kind of something Putin was very proud of after Russia annexed Crimea back in 2014. This bridge was constructed. It was finished in 2018, cost $3.7 billion. But this bridge was damaged badly by Ukraine this week as well. And in another related story, 2 other bridges in Russia, in western Russia, near the border with Ukraine, collapsed this week. So Ukraine is going after military assets and infrastructure in Russia with a vengeance. And these actions, in taking these actions, Ukraine is trying to force Russia to end the war. They're trying to give President Trump more leverage against Russia in these peace negotiations. But it's likely that this will backfire, I think. Russia has called this Ukrainian terrorist attacks. Now, it's interesting to me how, when you're involved in a war with someone that you attacked, can you call what they do back to you terrorist attacks? And again, as I mentioned earlier, the former Russian president says, we don't want compromise, we want victory. So this could cause Russia to come out and to try to appear stronger than ever in the light of this. In Newsweek this week, there's a headline that says, Putin ally says Ukraine operation is grounds for a nuclear attack. So you're saying this is a grounds for them to hit Ukraine with nukes. And of course, Russia has the largest nuclear stockpile in the world. So, Russia always seems to throw out the threat of the nuclear option at any time. Now, it's interesting, kind of in a little bit of another light, it's being said that this drone attack has changed and redefined modern warfare. The Ukrainian security service, called the SBU, what they used in this were 117, they're called toy-like first-person view drones. 117 of these, they each just cost a few $100s. They took out $7 billion in Russian assets. They were hidden in wooden crates, loaded onto these trucks, and taken near these airfields. So 117 of these kind of just toy-like drones. One military expert in Newsweek said that the future of warfare wouldn't be fought with massive space-based missile shields, but with swarms of cheap, expendable drones. So you think about the future in our world and the control the Antichrist will have, that he's going to exert over this entire globe. Whoever controls these drones, and think about the more than greater technology it's going to come for this. There's going to be, drones 2.0 and 3.0. Whoever's able to control and leverage this future technology, whatever future technology will be created by AI, will be able to dominate and control the world. I mean, just think about the kinds of weapons that AI is going to come up with and create. So we see how one person, without all these, planes and shields and all of these things, will be able to really dominate and control the world. People are even wondering now if this makes the Iron Dome and even the Golden Dome that President Trump wants in the United States, makes those automatically now obsolete. Because, future wars may not be fought with, intercontinental ballistic missiles and all, but with drone swarms or, again, whatever AI is able to create in the future. But having said all that, we ask the question, well, where's all this headed? Well, the most dangerous kind of bear, and Russia, is known as the Russian bear. The most dangerous kind of bear is a wounded bear.